and welcome to another episode of Suave podcast with Divyaa Advaani. Today on my show, I have a very learned man with me, Mr. Bharat Dhruv. Hello, sir. It's a pleasure having you on my show today.
Nice meeting you.
Likewise, sir. So, Bharat sir is an independent growth strategy consultant and he has been doing wonders in the manufacturing industry. He helps people with a lot of growth strategies and he's an ace at it. Having an experience of 36 years with Tata Motors, he independently started his own venture as an independent growth strategist. Let us hear it from Mr. Bharat right now. Bharat sir, how did you start your journey?
So, I did my engineering from VJTI 1974 to 78. After doing my engineering, I had a choice to join many companies, but I joined Tata Motors and I joined as a graduate engineer trainee. So in those days, it was 2 years hands-on training on shop floor. So we have to go through various departments of Tata Motors and we have to work with our own hands. So I worked in after-sales service department of Tata Motors. So my job is to train the mechanic how to service the truck and to train even the drivers in initial days how to drive the truck. And for that, we need to know ourselves to drive the truck. So I have been taught heavy truck driving. So my license is there and I have driven a Tata truck more than 5,000 kilometers.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
But then, why did you get into this line? Why did you want to pursue a career in this field?
So my interest was automobile. So I wanted to become automobile engineer. And in Tata, there is a lot of opportunity. And I was privileged to work with legends. I was the first sales engineer in Tata Motors sales department. So I was the product manager of Tata 407 and I had to present our product management philosophy and a project to Mr. J. Talaulikar, who was managing director, and he suggested that I should present to our chairman, Mr. Suman Mulgaonkar. Suman Mulgaonkar is a legend in automobile industry. He is the brain behind success of Tata Motors, whatever it is till today.
Amazing. So it is firstly very fascinating to know that you have driven trucks. It's not an easy job to do. So then driving trucks to coming to your car, how was that feeling? And then of course you said that you worked with such well-known personalities in Tata Motors. How was that feeling for you?
It was very satisfying. And the top bosses were, some of the top bosses were terror. But at the same time, for young engineer like us, they were very kind and fantastic opportunity in Tata Motors to work on different projects. And what happened while working in Tata Motors in those days, we had a collaboration and tie-up with Daimler Benz. And being an engineer, I used to take some of the Daimler Benz people who were coming to India. I was taking them to old reconditioned parts,
Wow.
old That is what is called as a chor bazaar. So now we had a good rapport with the people who were buying our old trucks. They were dismantling and marketing. So I used to take Daimler Benz people to Chor Bazaar and show them without computer how much they manage the parts, how they stock the parts, how they recycle the parts. So it was very fascinating.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, was there any time, because when usually people say Chor Bazaar, so Chor Bazaar is basically a place where you get everything at a very subsidized price. So, when people usually go there, they find things of all a variety of things at a good price. So, how beneficial was that? What was the quality of those things?
It's basically they are still doing good to society. Chor Bazaar name is there because of very low price. Whatever you see is not being stolen. It is hard work of the people to dismantle and segregate. Once they dismantle a truck, then one guy will keep all electrical parts, starter and things like. One guy will keep all axle part. One person will keep all body parts. And it's very easy for them. So if people would like to replace the parts, it's very economical for a small truck operator or after the warranty. So many times you get good parts, many times after 9 years, company stops manufacturing the parts of old model.
Right.
So you can get good condition old parts from Chor Bazaar. Now, after that, what happened? I got the opportunity around 35 years back to go to UK for Rotary Youth Exchange Program. So
Lovely.
since I was going for Rotary Youth Exchange Program up to UK, I thought I know Mercedes Benz people, and why should not I go to Daimler Benz where I know some people, some of the senior people. So, and as an engineer, 3 pointed star was the dream, that German company manufacturing fantastic automobiles. So I wanted to visit their plant. So they organized, Tata people gave me the letter to visit them. So I visited their plant for 1 week, and I told them that I am comfortable to use public transport. So you suggest me wherever I am staying. I was staying in their apprentice hostel, which is very economical, neat, clean, and fine. So in the evening, first day evening, I told Daimler Benz people that I would like to use public transport. So he was surprised that why you want to use public transport. I said, I am on holiday. I have come to Daimler Benz on my own expenditure. So I don't want, I'm familiar with the public transport in UK, and in Europe transport is similar. But they were surprised, somebody coming at their own expense and on holiday to see their plant. So
Lovely.
he told his boss, there is an engineer from India and he has come with his own expenditure and holiday. So the people were surprised. He made my meeting with their top boss, who was a sales director and who had interaction with J.R.D. Tata prior to the collaboration. So he was very much surprised that what kind of a work I do at Tata Motors.
Mhm.
So at that time I was in charge of bodybuilding, and that department was started by me only. And
Lovely.
they got amazed. From next day onward, they wanted to give me a car. He says, "You keep this car till you go back and use." I said, I'm more comfortable with ride and drive. I don't want
You
your
don't.
car. And driver is very expensive in Germany. Driver's salary is as good as engineer's salary.
Hmm.
So they ensure not only they will come and drop me every day, some engineer will pick up me from the company car. So
Nice.
I will be using that car for all my stay.
That's really kind of them. It was
Yeah.
something very fascinating to know. But so how did you from Tata Motors come into training and your growth strategizing?
So, so in Tata Motors, I worked in various departments. So one was application engineering group. We were only two people who started. I'm one engineer and my boss who had a matriculate, but he has traveled all over the world. So we wanted to make truck application and provide Tata customer total solution. So on a truck, variety of bodies can be built. Now my job was to create total solution for end customer.
Hmm.
So I got interaction with customer, bodybuilder, and integration of chassis, Tata chassis, and the body. So it is very advantageous. We were pioneer.
Mhm.
We were pioneer. Tata Motors is the first company they tried to sell in India at that point of time fully built solution compared to other Indian truck manufacturers.
Right. So when you talk about working with just the two of you getting into this, how was the feeling back then and compared to what you do today? How was that a starting point to what you're doing today?
So it is very satisfying. When I started, it was two persons department. I was when I in Tata Motors there is a change of job also. So out of my 36 years, at different time, I worked on bodybuilding or dealing with the people who are making bodies for us. So I worked with variety of bodybuilders, and from two persons department we were 25 people, and we were making around 10,000 bodies, truck and bus bodies for the customer at that point of time.
That's amazing to know. Just two people making a huge difference and causing this to lead to a nice big team. When you were about to leave Tata Motors, how did you start your training journey back at Tata Motors or you started it after you left Tata Motors?
After I left Tata Motors, because my interaction with the people, my interaction with the people was much different,
Mhm.
and my job was to build the bodies and show these bodies to Auto Expo and launch. So, because of my nature, before almost 10 years before my retirement, people were always, many people were always asking, Sir, whenever you retire, we are there and you please work with us. So, when I retire, I took 3 months vacation, biggest longest vacation to USA and many other places which I couldn't travel. And after that, as soon as I came back, people were asking me to help them in their growth journey. What I have been doing or sharing my thoughts during Tata Motors. So most of the people the first year I got all the invitation. By invitation only I got the assignment. And I thought whatever I created at Tata, first time in India, we can develop many such application after my retirement. So we have done many first time in India after my retirement. First time in India, unique vehicle with young firefighting companies of India. The first time in India we have made at a fire truck with London. We have done rapid runway repair machine. So my experience of developing ambulance in short time at Tata during Kargil war was extremely useful after the retirement to do the job for Air Force on contract manufacturing with London.
Interesting. So when
Yeah,
you say about, you were the first one to start with the firefighting thing and helping them out, and then with the ambulance thing you mentioned, then with Nandan GSC you mentioned. So the very first, do you remember the very first person after you retired from Tata Motors? How did you help them with your growth strategies, and how did that make their turnover a lot different than what they were currently making? So would you like to share that with our viewers?
yeah. So my first assignment, I didn't work with Gemini Hydraulics. So Rajiv Sethi interacted with me in developing a unique application for refueling the trucks. And I had met him almost for 1.5 hours only. But we were in touch. So he had decided whenever I'm going to retire, he never told me, but he called me, the first person he called me in when I was in USA कि सर आपके साथ काम करना है, आप कभी आओगे तो फिर मिलते हैं. So that was my Gemini Power Hydraulics was my first assignment, and there are many others to follow. In their case, they were marketing many products from Europe.
Mhm.
Now Euro is going strong. So if you want the numbers, you have to develop application in India only. Now, when you develop application in India, then lot you can do. So, in case of a Gemini, thanks to Rajiv's thought, but we could develop their own aerial work platform, and I also help them in contract manufacturing in initial days, mobile bridge inspection. Now such equipments were being imported. It was around 4 crore per unit. But we we had drawings, we had IPR rights, and we got it contract manufactured in less than 2 crore.
Oh wow.
So once you make in India, so that we started in 2015. So now they are selling more than 100 aerial work platform, and they have got their own manufacturing setup
Wow, that's
in
quite
India.
inspiring.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring, and it's so nice to know about how you worked with the cost. So much of a difference for that matter. But sir, going forward, when you started training with other companies as well, you started strategizing, making growth strategies for different companies. What was one thing that you saw was missing in most of these companies, and how your presence played a role in helping them reach their profit levels?
So, in general, most of the entrepreneurs are thinking about product, customer in a smaller circle. They have got already some business and they were facing some difficulties. But what we were taught at Tata, think different, not think India first and think global second. So, whatever you are thinking to manufacture in India, think big. So, this is the common thread. So, whatever came to us with comparatively, they came with a smaller project. We made the project slightly bigger and kind of a modular because they cannot afford big consultant and other things.
Right.
And I had on my network of good people who can add value. So one of the Tata dealer at Patna by accident came into the picture. They were buying the bodies from one company and somehow that company closed down because of partners dispute. Now they were in dilemma what to do. Company had closed down. They took people, most of the people from the old company which was their supplier, but we helped them to set up their first modern manufacturing plant in Patna.
Oh wow.
So people from Bihar were going out to work because in Bihar the industry is not as much as Gujarat or Maharashtra or Chennai. So getting manpower for Patna was no problem. But we got the right machine, right infrastructure, and they are now from training to manufacturing. And
Amazing.
manufacturing requires more discipline. So in trading you can close, you have a freedom. But once you manufacture, sky is the limit.
Absolutely. So talking about manufacturing, when you talk about manufacturing units, what is this one thing that you see which is missing in quite a few manufacturing units wherein your role plays of much importance, and how your presence makes a difference in these manufacturing units?
So in manufacturing, biggest challenge is the skill of people. In big company, they have got big machine, big training, workers are trained, special machines are there. So in manufacturing, we find in a small, medium and small scale industries, people are changing. They got means workers. Workers are not fixed. Workers are not trained to that extent. Workers are not briefed what kind of finishing, aesthetic, and brand and reliability. स्मॉल थिंग्स वो उनको जो चलता है एटीट्यूड है, और इंडियन कस्टमर को सस्ता ही चाहिए, तो चलता है एटीट्यूड और सस्ता, तो दैट क्रिएट्स प्रॉब्लम.
True.
बट इफ यू improve your quality, and if there is a reliability and quality, people will come to you.
Absolutely.
People don't mind to pay you. People are good negotiator, but they don't know what is a product life cycle cost.
Correct.
Or whatever, if that machine or product which is supplied by small scale industry, if it is fails, then it is a very serious cost. It's the cost of 10 times of the machine if that machine is not working.
True. That's amazing. It's so inspiring listening to all of this that you've been saying, and how you have been, talking about, like you mentioned about people look at things which are very small, like they tend to miss out on smaller things which are so important in a company. And how with the chalta hai attitude, like you said, that, people don't really understand the impact of it in the long run. So I think that is one thing that really impacts a lot to any business, right?
So I had an opportunity to visit Germany 8 times during Tata Motors. I have seen all Daimler Benz plants due to my work, and Daimler Benz taught me, and they organized my visit to 10 different application developers. So after my retirement, I made it a point to this entrepreneur that you are going to Switzerland, you are making money. तो वहां से एक ट्रिप स्विट्जरलैंड की करते हो, तो एक ट्रिप आपके फील्ड में, विच इज द बिगेस्ट इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रक and bus related application engineering show in Germany, you must visit. So I made them to visit after my retirement. I must have taken at least 50 people
Wow.
to Germany and other big shows. I mean, I have pushed them, and they have found, when they see how Germany presents their product, how German people talk. We met Germany top Daimler Benz people, and they told us that they had a World War One, World War Two. Their plant were destroyed twice, but the people survived.
Wow.
Now, in 100 years, they got opportunity to make their plant total 3 times.
Wow.
So once you make 3 times your plant, you know your problem and how you can be ahead.
True.
So similarly, some of our people are spending money, 1 crore, 2 crore, but one visit, if you plan well, of Hanover will cost less than 3 lakhs. But you put your 2 ideas, आपका पैसा वसूल हो गया. And so far everybody has said, I used to say them कि आपको अच्छा नहीं लगा तो आप मेरे से पैसा ले लेना. किसी ने लिया नहीं है. Everybody has thanked me.
Right.
And once you see what is the best in the world, and India is growing. In earlier days, when I used to go earlier days, 30 years back to Germany. Nobody was giving me literature. I had to ask, plead, salespeople. They never thought that what we will do.
Right.
And now, my last few trips, when I show my Tata card at that point of time, we are not for the sale because they think that Tatas will buy a company and lot of respect for Tata.
Right.
So many people over there, they know me because of whenever they wanted to do any collaboration. So we did some collaborations at Tata Motors, like Hiva, Swing Stater, Marco Polo in bus. So I was the instrumental in Tata DLT, Dutch Lanka Trailers, of tie-up in India. So similarly, I organize similar tie-ups among the bodybuilders also,
Nice.
so that you are not competing and two non-competing people add value for the customer. Everybody will win.
That's true. So you also mentioned about you taking people, you took 50 people to Germany. You also told me about how you've been traveling to different countries. So, what is one learning that you have received which you'd like to share with our viewers?
So, so anybody in their field must go and visit biggest exhibition of their sector, and it's a fantastic opportunity to see the world. Uh, world is at what level, and you can think, look, and design your product. Small improvement you can do. So, so for all Indian companies, they need to look first India, and second they need to look global. So what I say that पहले ही दिन में सब पैसा नहीं लगाना है, बड़ी सोच रखनी है, और आपकी फैक्ट्री की डिजाइन, आपका प्रोडक्ट और आपका माइंड में 5 साल के बाद में आपको कहाँ पहुंचना है, वेयर यू वुड लाइक टू रीच एंड व्हाट इज योर बेंचमार्क, ये हमको टाटा में भी सिखाया गया था कि you have to have your benchmark.
Right, so set your goals and have it clear in your head. Lovely. That's amazing. That's truly inspiring, sir. So this has been such a lovely conversation. I don't feel like ending this, but we also would have to come to a conclusion at some point. Before we wind up, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers?
So मैं एक ही चीज कहूँगा, think ग्लोबल, और आपका मन में होगा तो आप जरूर कर सकते हो, एंड यू नीड टू टेक एक्शन स्टेप बाय स्टेप. Second thing, what you need to do is you treat your worker as your family, and keep your factory as good as your house, or it should be as clean as any good temple. And अभी तो इंडिया का टाइम है, आप सोचोगे, मिलोगे आपकी इंडस्ट्री के अच्छे लोगों से, आप जरूर कर सकते हो.
Absolutely. What a beautiful message you said, sir. Keeping your workplace as clean as your house, as clean as your temple, the God that you worship. What a beautiful message, sir. I would really like to thank you for being on this show today. Any last departing message that you would like to give our viewers, and how every person has that entrepreneur in himself? Any departing message that you'd like to give our viewers here?
So I have seen one is hardware, second is software. factory infrastructure is like creating murti, stone carving, and other thing. But your people, your attitude, your approach is pran pratishtha. So if you combine these two in your plant, you can do wonders. And
Absolutely.
you need to talk to your workers and drive them from back, not drive them from front. And this is what interesting learning I learned from Ravi Kant, who is vice chair, who was vice chairman of Tata Motors company, and
Beautiful.
I'm still he is my mentor. I would like to thank Mr. Ravi Kant. What I learned from him in last 25 years is made me whatever I am.
That's
And
so good.
I was privileged to work with Ratan Tata, interact with Ratan Tata, J.R.D. Tata.
Wow. That's really commendable. So it's been truly an honor to have you on this show today, and getting to know things about your journey and learning things from you has been truly a delightful moment. And I'm sure out there also all our viewers who
Many,
are in the service industry right now and or in working professionals and are wanting to start something of their own, I would just like to say one thing: age is never a limit. You can just go on and on. You started your journey even after your entrepreneurial journey, rather, I would say, after you retired. But this is something that, is so powerful, and it is also so empowering to all the people out there who want to be something on their own. And only, it's just like you said, you have to think out of the box, and you have to have that courage and the willingness to do things. So, sir, thank you so much for being on the show today. And one more interesting thing that I must tell you about Bharat sir here is that he's worked closely with Dominique Lapierre, and his name has been in all of his books after the City of Joy. That is something that I will cover in the next interview with Bharat sir. But until I see you next, keep smiling, keep shining.